What's good, future millionaires? We back with another banger. So we got a question from the official Shib page today asking, good morning, Shib fam. If you had to choose just one, which would you hold? Now I want y'all to drop this in the chat or the comment section as well. I'm interested to know how the people that come across this video, feel about this as well. Are you more, likely to hold Shib, leash, or bone if you had to choose just one? Which one would it be? So let's take a look at what the community is saying inside of the chat. Also, I like to see that the Shib token page is, just trying to become more active. Now, obviously, we can predict that the #1 token will be Shiba Inu because obviously that's where it all started. But we got Shib, bone. Let's see. So right now we tied 2 Shib, 2 bone. I'm not counting the ones where they're shilling something else. So 3 Shib, okay, there we go. 4 Shib, 3 bone. Shib, bone, Shib. So you see the majority of people, I see some bone in here as well, but the majority of people are looking towards Shib. Now, obviously, you don't want to sleep on bone because it is the official gas token of the ecosystem. Now, I wish they would have just made that Shiba Inu, but they didn't control the Shib token, I guess, to be able to, put it in position to serve as the gas token. So it would have been nice if Ryoshi left that off before he left. But taking a look at the official Shib page, nothing major going on except for the Shiba coin. I want to make this video just to let y'all know that y'all are still early. We're going to look at the prices, but at the end of this video, I'm going to leave y'all with a message, a very, very strong message that'll put you in perspective of letting you know how early you still are when it comes to crypto and how big this is going to get. And I'm talking about this one video right here will squash all the doubts that, people that are logical thinkers that, just are uncertain, about where we are in crypto's, timeline right now. I'm going to show you that at the end of this video. So make sure if you're interested, you get your tickets for Shiba Con. We got that retweeted out as well. Also, let's see. Let's check out the prices. Oh, I want to show y'all this. So we got a retweet from Satoshi saying crypto capital, hashtag crypto capital with Vegeta standing in the rain. So that's in response to Watcher Guru posting just in. UAE eliminates taxes on all crypto transactions. So in response to that, Satoshi says crypto capital, basically meaning that this is the crypto capital of the world, where Dubai is. So take a look at this, pretty awesome news. Shy, can you say anything about Ethereum that would bring more eyes and attention to it, that we can increase the TVL for projects other than the ones created and launched by the east side, on the east side by the Shib team? I think much love. Ready for the storm. Can someone tell me how this helps Shib? Dubai Shib. Help me make sense of it. So basically this is just, letting people know that are active or, really, in tune with crypto, might be fully converted over to crypto, that this is the place that you might want to be. This might be the, future crypto capital of the world. They already don't have, I believe personal taxes or income gains tax. So already, I don't think they had taxes on crypto. I think they're just kind of pushing it, out there to let people know. But also, step in the right direction. Keep building. This is a part of why I'm telling y'all that you're very early. Crypto is winning, not bad. Who else is moving to Dubai? So basically, letting you know that that's the direction, to be heading if you want taxless crypto. Now, this is very early because Dubai is going to send, with doing this, is going to send signals to other countries that, especially if they're looking to be pro crypto or want to be, in the forefront of crypto, that they may have to, follow in the footsteps of the UAE. So I'm excited about that. Hopefully that could spread around. Also, let's take a look at the prices real quick. Before we go into this article, we got a cool article I seen today, basically talking about the evolution or the timeline of acceptance of crypto, cell phones, and the internet, and basically showing that crypto is being adopted faster than the internet and cell phones, y'all. So that is major right there. Matter of fact, let's check that out before we get into the prices. So take a look right here. You can see $10 trillion asset manager BlackRock says crypto is being adopted faster than the internet and mobile phones. So look at this. Cousin Crypto says is really gonna get wicked. Lola says bullish. Kraken Exchange says the institutions are waking up. Do you have enough Bitcoin? Tron dropped the sun emoji. Dash says mass adoption is coming in the next few years. Let's make sure it's with full decentralization and self-custody. Crypto T says the internet was once a theory. I like that. So the internet was once a theory. Think about it. You know, even with cryptocurrencies, it once was. Now, obviously, a lot of us, it is a part of our daily lives. But at the same time, you got to understand, there's only about, I believe, 3 to 5% of the entire world that is, you know, using crypto. So we got a lot of adoption to go. But let's see what else we got. Crypto is the future, based in bullish. So let's see. I think we got. I have yet to see one good real world invention proceed out of crypto space. Am I missing something? Is it all just pumps and dumps, or is there more to it? So that's just George, you know, creating some controversy, stirring things up. But obviously he hasn't, you know, heard of the blockchain technology. But they hate and judge people in crypto now, but in 10 years they will call us geniuses for being early. Now on that note, I want to jump over to this right here. First, let's take a look at the prices. So Shib Arby, this is why I'm saying you're still early. Fear and greed index at a 43. Neutral was just at a 41. You see it's creeping up. This is why I try to tell y'all, when the dip is here, you want to jump on the dip. $2.2 trillion market cap, up 0.86%, creeping up. It's kind of what we were doing yesterday. You know, 8.8% here, 0.8% there. That's almost 2% over 2 days. Bitcoin up $63,271. Ethereum $2,448. BNB at $573. Solana at $146.71. We got XRP at 53 cents. Doge at 11 cents. Tron at 15 cents. Timecoin at 10th place by market cap, sitting at $5.29. We got Cardano at 35 cents. AVAX at $27.10. And then we got Shiba Inu at 18.11 right now. So 0.40 is 18.11, up 1.25% on the day, up 0.5% for the week, still up 75% year to date for those that are hodling. But real quick, a little TA just to show y'all where we're looking at under the hood. But I want to show y'all something, so make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video. It's very, very important to put your mind in perspective of where we are. So just a little TA real quick. We got okay, let's see. So we got our Bollinger Bands up right now. You see we're sitting at that 4 zeros, 1,809 points per coin. Upper Bollinger Band is peaking at 2,051 points per coin. Lower Bollinger Band is at 1,264 points per coin. Mid Bollinger Band is 1658. So that mid Bollinger Band is telling us where, you know, we could likely pull back to. Notice we are forming a doji candle here. So looking at this doji candle on a slight uptrend, even though we're still technically in this downtrend, but we are on a small uptrend right here, which is, you know, giving me mixed you know, feelings from the market. Now with that doji candle forming and at a slight uptrend, that tells us that a reversal can likely come. Notice we got some resistance up here before 1,900 points per coin. The price tried to attract up to this upper Bollinger Band, but it didn't quite make it. So the price is going to either consolidate for a while or try to, like I said, it likes to magnet to one of these areas and either come down to this mid Bollinger Band. So that's what I'm looking at as well. So what we also want to take a look at is our RSI, relative strength index, and even looking at that candlestick pattern with it being a doji at the top of a small uptrend, you know, that gives us a big sign that, you know, the market could likely start to pull back, especially if things don't, you know, we don't get any positive catalysts and people start to get exhausted with no new news coming in. Also, RSI, relative strength index, at a 61 right now. Not quite yet in overbought territory. It's still in the neutral area, but getting closer to that overbought territory, letting us know that we still have meat on the bone for some potential profits to the upside. But also you want to pay attention to is, my bad, y'all. Also what you want to pay attention to is knowing that with the volume turning it into this red candle right here, meaning we're getting more selling pressure with our RSI not quite being at the overbought levels, it could, you know, start to turn around a little earlier, especially if we start to see prices move back towards this mid Bollinger Band, especially if we start to see more selling volume coming in than buying volume. So right now this candle just switched to more buying volume right now, but you know, if sellers take over, you know, it could flip back red just like it just did right now. And if it continues to push down, that'll drag our RSI down. People use that as an indication that things aren't quite yet turned around, because a lot of like smart traders like to look for oversold areas or overbought areas to make their, you know, their moves, because if it's in overbought territory, you know, it's just a matter of time almost before it, you know, starts to sell off. If it's in oversold territory, you know, it's a matter of time before, you know, it starts to get bought up. But also looking at our moving averages, we still have both of them trading slightly below the 200-day as well as the 50-day. Didn't mean to do that one. So let's look at this simple moving average. Adjust that for, okay, slightly, look at that 200. So slightly above the 50-day, but still slightly below that 200 right now. So with it being under the 200, 200 is looked at as the strong, you know, resistance or a strong support level, depending on what the price is doing in that area. So if the price is trading, you know, underneath this blue line y'all see on the screen right here, then we know that that's used as a strong resistance point. If the price is above it, strong support. Now, if it's above it, that means it's going to have a hard time dropping below that area. If the price is below, it's going to have a hard time breaking above that area. Now, something I wanted to, you know, basically just break down and show y'all or talk to you about is the adoption rate of, you know, the internet. So internet publicly became available in the 80s. So widespread adoption occurred gradually over the following years, influenced by several key milestones like TCP IP protocol, which happened in 1983. So let me just give you the breakdown of the timeline. So here's a general timeline of how long it took for the internet to catch on. I think about this in terms of crypto. So 1983, the internet as we know it today began with the adoption of TCP IP protocol, allowing different computer networks to communicate. However, the internet at this point was primarily limited to academics, researchers, and government organizations. In 1989-1991, the development of the World Wide Web by Tim Berners-Lee provided a user-friendly way to access information on the internet. The first website went live in 1991, and this laid the foundation for a more public-friendly internet. So think about that. It came out basically public use 83. Didn't get the first website live until 1991. Mid-90s, the internet began to catch on with the general public. The introduction of web browsers like Mosaic in 1993 and Netscape Navigator in 1994 made accessing the web more intuitive. So by this time, businesses and early adopters were starting to see its potential. So those were the early adopters. This isn't households. This is just, you know, tech forward businesses and, you know, those that are, you know, probably building a part of building, you know, things on the internet at this time. 1995 was a critical year for the internet's adoption. Microsoft launched Windows 95, which came with built-in internet support, and the Federal Networking Council declared internet as a formal term. Amazon, eBay, and Yahoo were launched around this period, introducing people to e-commerce and search engines. AOL and CompuServe offered easy access to the internet through dial-up services. So think about it. It took from 83 to 95, which is 12 years, to even get it to the point where, you know, we got the Amazon, eBays, you know, before it became a formal term. Internet wasn't even a formal term until 12 years later. So think about that in our, you know, journey with crypto. And then some of those first websites, the Amazons, eBay, Yahoos, you know, if it wasn't for AOL, CompuServe, Windows itself, people wouldn't have had the ease of access that they do to the internet. And think about it. We got the same thing taking place with crypto. Crypto is becoming more and more user-friendly, more intuitive. User experience is getting better. The barrier to entry is getting lower. That's all a part of the process of adoption. So understand that you are still very, very early. Also, late 90s to early 2000s. By the late 90s, the internet was increasingly becoming a part of daily life, but it wasn't until the early 2000s that broadband internet became more common, significantly enhancing speed and user experience. This period also saw the rise of Google in '98 and the social media platforms MySpace in 2003 and Facebook in 2004. So the 2000s, the explosion of the broadband internet, search engines, and social media meant the internet became indispensable to the average person. The number of global internet users skyrocketed from around 400 million in 2000 to more than 1 billion by 2005. So look at that exponential increase that took place. Only 400 million users at the time of the year 2000. And that's after a lot of those small developments took place, but it didn't get over 1 billion users until 2005. So from 1983 until 2005, that is 22 years that it basically took the internet to really catch on. Think about it. Crypto has been around since 2009 when Bitcoin got dropped, and it's 2024 right now. So crypto is technically 15 years old. We still have 7 years before we're at that point where the internet was able to fully catch on. Not saying it's going to take 7 more years, but just I want y'all to understand how long it can take for some of these technologies to actually catch on. Also, like, let's look at the cell phone. Key milestones in the history of cell phones. 1973, the first portable handheld mobile phone was made by Martin Cooper of Motorola. This early prototype, the Motorola Dynatac, was bulky and expensive, so it was more of a technical demonstration than a consumer product. 1983, so 10 years later, the Motorola Dynatac 8000X, the first commercially available mobile phone, was released. The brick phone was large, expensive, about $4,000, and had limited battery life. Mobile phones at this point were only accessible to a very small group of people, mostly executives and wealthy individuals. Think about that. It took 10 years to make the first commercially available cell phone. Crypto's only 15 years old. Late 80s and the early 90s. Through the late 80s and the early 90s, mobile phone technology improved with the introduction of 2G networks using GSM in 1991. Phones became slightly smaller and more affordable, though still not widely adopted by the general public. So the mid-90s, cell phone adoption began to accelerate during the mid-90s as the introduction of digital technology and more compact phones made them more practical and affordable. Nokia and Motorola were major players at the time. For example, the Nokia 1011 1992 was one of the first mass-market GSM phones. By the mid-90s, the cost of a cell phone dropped and its popularity began to grow. So in 1999 and 2000, the introduction of SMS text messaging in the late 90s, followed by the first camera phones like the Sharp J SH04 in 2000, significantly increased the appeal of cell phones. By the turn of the millennium, mobile phones were no longer luxury items and adoption spread rapidly. So it took from 1973 to the year 2000 basically to make cell phones, widely adopted. And not even at the point where, it was widely, it was just, more a common thing now. So what is that? 27 years? 27 years. Crypto has only been around 15 years. So far we see internet 22 years to get from the point of, basically, and we're talking about from the points of like, commercially available almost with the internet. 1973 for cell phones. So the mobile phone market in 2000 experienced explosive growth. The introduction of 3G networks in the early 2000s enabled faster data transmission, supporting the rise of mobile internet. By 2003, there were over 1 billion mobile subscribers worldwide, and by 2005, the number had doubled to 2.5 million. So think about that. It took all the way from, the year 30 years, 1973 to 2003, for it to reach 1 billion cell phone users. And then 2 years after that, that number doubled to 2 billion. So think about it. Crypto might be taking some time right now, but after we hit that, our 2000, our year 2000, our year 2003, 2000, our year 2005, it's going to be absolutely crazy. We're going to be seeing the entire market, just increase exponentially. So late 2000, 2010, smartphones became widely accessible, especially as Android-based phones entered the market in 2008, making smartphones more affordable. Mobile data usage increased dramatically with the development of 4G LTE networks around 2010, allowing fast internet browsing, video streaming, and social media apps. By the mid-2010s, smartphones were ubiquitous. So first mobile phone call made by Motorola in 1973, and 2010s, that's when they became mainstream. So it took around 10 to 15 years after the first commercial phone began in 1983. So that's 10 to 15 years, which is really, basically 25 years from the beginning of it, for cell phones to become more common among the general public. The true explosion in usage, particularly with smartphones, happened between the late 2000s and early 2010. So think about that. Even cell phone usage itself is still, kind of, fairly getting adopted at a large scale. So I just want to drop that on y'all, let y'all know that Shib Army, you are still early. If you're rocking with me in this all the way to the end of this video, then you deserve to be one of these early people. And everything that you deserve will be coming to you, man. Continue to hodl, continue to do your research, and just continue to be wise with your investments. Appreciate y'all for pulling up, and we are out.